Hey guys, how is it going? So I had a few guys hit me up on Discord and ask me about my setup and kind of what I'm doing in the garage. So I moved out here not too long ago out to my girlfriend's place, and they've got fiber internet out here out in Amish country of all places. So it's weird talking to you guys streaming, playing games as a dude in a horse-drawn carriage, goes by every like 15 minutes. And explaining to them what I do for a job, no way. But let's look at the setup. So at this point, this is the setup. Nothing spectacular, just basic cheap lighting, a DSLR, and it's kind of decent equipment. Nothing great. Notice the mouse pad is time for something new, but the big thing most people notice is my mouse is on the wrong side. I'm a lefty. So the Logitech G903 is what I ended up on because of the ambidextrous setup. And it's wireless, which is a big key for me because I use this entire space here for the mouse movements, right? I move my entire arm as I play. Looking at the keyboard, obviously I've got it shoved way over to the side. A lot of people will run into issues playing where they have their hands too close together if they're trying to play left-handed. And you need to be shoulder width apart and keep everything at a 90 to make sure you have great posture for when you're playing. The microphone is a Blue Yeti microphone, nothing spectacular, just pretty run-of-the-mill streamer setup at this point. The computer itself is an i7 7700K overclocked to 5.2 gigahertz on water. I believe it's an H110i cooler. It is a GTX 1070 MSI Gaming X card. As far as the RAM goes, I'm running I think 64 gigs of RAM. Give or take depending on the day. Typically I'll have 32 gigs in there, so I'm running right now, but we do have another unit inside that is a Ryzen system with a AMD graphics card for other testing. So that being said, all of this stuff works really well and kind of is complemented by the Astro A40. This is the X version. These things are actually like spectacular. I love these headphones and I love the DAC. The entire setup, yeah, it's kind of pricey, but for what you get and the enjoyment that you get out of having a solid gaming PC that you can do basically anything on, earn money from home is a big thing. And not just for gaming, but it's a computer. I can do more things than an Xbox or PlayStation 5 can on a day-to-day basis with a lot more ease. But as far as you people interested in left-handed gaming goes, let's have a discussion about that real quick, but I'm going to sit down for that one. Okay, so the real thing here that we want to talk about is left-handed gaming and what that means for me as a gamer and as somebody that's kind of unorthodox in the way that I play. A lot of times that means that I'm moving my arms an awful lot. Like my entire span here is 29 centimeters. So I've got a pretty good wide range of mouse movement to make a full 360. Super important, super critical to make sure you're hitting your shots. A lot of people will start super high sensitivity, and that's kind of the way that I did. I started fairly high, and I'm working my way lower and lower, and that seems to really be helping me get more accurate. And the aim training is a big part of that as well. Having a setup that you're comfortable with, and having good posture, and having comfortable just workspace that's consistent is going to help your aim training tremendously. So this is the first week of the aim training that I've been working on, and basically this is the first day. We did this on stream as well. I'll be doing these every week on stream before we do our playthroughs of Rebirth or Verdansk or whatever's going on that week. Sometimes Battlefield. But either way, we do aim training before our live streams on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Basically to either warm me up or to see my progress, and more at this point to see progress. And so far we're seeing a 1 to 2% increase in points, which is just kind of like acquired skill, basically per day at this kind of given point. Mind you, I haven't plateaued yet. That's inevitable. Like when you're aim training, it's inevitable that this is going to happen. But once it does happen, you either have the option of just taking a quick break, take a couple of days off, clear your mind, come back to it, refreshed, and just clear mind and make it happen. And also a lot of times for me, that's all it takes is to play a few days of the game and just kind of break that routine of the muscle memory and kind of give you a reset mentally to be successful in the aim training and to push yourself further in the long term. As far as aim trainers go, I'm using Kovac 2.0. I've used AimLab. They're both fine. They both work really, really well. I don't think one is better than the other per se, but Kovac is just one that I've gravitated towards, mainly because of the way that it tracks for me. It's just something that I like using. You don't have to use that. Like, AimLab is free on Steam, so pick that up. There's a link in the description down below if you guys want to check that out to kind of give yourself some aim training and stack yourself up against what I'm doing. So the routines that I'm using are the Iron Warm-Up and the Iron Advanced. These are basically ones that will kind of mimic Warzone things. Headshots at a distance, moving targets, strafing, jumping, tracking, a bunch of different skills that you're going to use on a regular basis in Warzone, Call of Duty, Valorant. It's kind of just whatever. So when it comes to setting up your settings, though, the main thing you're going to do is look at, if you're playing Warzone, Overwatch settings. So Overwatch will scale with Call of Duty. So mine is set at 800 DPI and a 5 sensitivity is what I'm down to right now. My end goal is around a 4.5 or 5, so I'm kind of about where I want to be. I do change mine on a day-to-day basis depending on how I'm feeling, how my muscles are acting, how things are just kind of going. And it's important that you keep that in mind, that my sensitivity is going to be different than your sensitivity because of my mouse pad, my mouse, the way I hold my mouse, the way I move my arms, my chair armrest, things like that. It's all going to change my sensitivity versus yours. So that's a very important thing to keep in mind. But again, I'm left-handed, so I do have some different things that I need to focus on that you guys can't necessarily mimic because you're probably right-handed. So, using my mouse this way, so my grip, most people, right, is going to be kind of laying flat on here. My grip, after a little while of aim training, I've noticed that if I do aim training first, my grip will change throughout the day. And as I play more and more throughout the day, I improve. And this is the grip that I usually end up on. So ideally, just this bottom part of my thumb is rubbing the mouse pad, as well as just the tip of my pinky. And the entire hand and my mouse is just missing the entire mouse pad right. So what that does is it allows the mouse to have freedom of movement without my hand causing friction and slowing it down. If you have a heavier mouse, obviously this is way more important. If you have a lighter mouse, it's kind of less important, and it might be more beneficial to actually I use my pinky sometimes on my lighter mouse to stop my mouse. So as I'm sliding around, I'll push my pinky down into the mouse pad to secure the mouse in position to hit my flicks. Obviously, as you guys watched on stream, sometimes it doesn't work that well. Sometimes I just miss things. It happens. It's part of aim training, and it's part of getting better. Admitting what you don't know and admitting that you have faults allows you to fix those faults or at least improve upon them. Aim training is all about being self-aware, and it's all about being aware of what you lack. Because let's be honest, you're not aim training because you're already great. You're aim training because you know you have a reason to improve, and you know you want to improve. So admitting to yourself those two things means you're pretty much right there anyway. If you guys are interested in following my aim training journey, please hit that subscribe button and hit the like on this video to help kind of push this up in the algorithm. If you're interested in a guy that has done a ton of aim training, his name is Strafe. There's a link in the video at the end somewhere on the screen where you guys check out if you want to see him. But appreciate you guys hanging out and listening to me jibber jabber about left-handed gaming. We'll probably dive more into it later on as well if you guys are interested in hearing about that stuff too. But have a good one, guys. I'll see you around.